as a thank you for coming.
We're at a very critical point in the season where everything that we've worked so hard for is about to either come together or fall apart. This year, we took a huge leap, expanding our operation with the goal of sending 200 hives to California for almond pollination this winter. It hasn't been easy, from building 3-frame splits with just a queen cell to now managing double deeps overflowing with bees. It's been a roller coaster of wins and setbacks as we faced high mite loads in one yard, starvation in another, and in some yards, no pollen coming in at the very moment we need our brood nest to explode. So now the pressure is on. Every decision we make from here determines whether these colonies are going to survive the winter and make grade for almonds, or
they're in here,
if we fall short.
Cut back to a single.
Hey, look at who joined the party today. It's been a while since you've been on the channel. So we have only 3 more weeks until we pretty much cannot do anything with any of our yards. So it is go time to get everything ready for winter. So we are out feeding. This is our 6th tote this year. I really hope this is our last tote and that we don't need to buy another one because the bank account is really hurting. But goldenrod is on really strong right now. To be honest, the goldenrod flow has kind of sucked this year. It's been cold and it's been dry, so I haven't really seen much nectar. I've gotten a little bit of like that dirty sock smell in a couple of the yards, but they ain't bringing in a whole lot. They are bringing in some pollen though, so that's helpful at least. We also picked up some pollen from Beeline. It's mega bee pollen, so that will be new to try. That we're gonna throw on everything. That way they stay brooding up and get ready for winter. We have a nice size cluster. I want to do just a couple mite washes so I get an idea. I just like to monitor. Got some apple cider vinegar for our pollen patties. It was on sale today. Yeah, it was only $2. It's probably because everybody's been sick since everybody just went back to school. It is also September 9th. I don't think I said that. Alright, so this is Mega Bee from Beeline. We love Beeline. It's where we've been getting all of our equipment. Yeah. So we'll see how this does. I've never used it before. And I talked to Dan last night and they never used it either, so I guess we'll see.
Could be good.
It could be.
I think we didn't take pollen serious enough this year.
We did not take pollen serious enough.
But we will next year.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's important.
We'll go give Keith a visit. Oh, the channel doesn't know about that yet. There's something big coming soon. So we've been using, I'll put up a video of it. It's Beagra from Apamon. I think it's just Apamondia. Apamon. Funny name. Oh, you have to prime it. I haven't primed it yet. But anyways, so it's a vitamin and the other one's a mineral that I've been mixing into our syrup, and I've actually noticed a difference. Ooh, what's leaking? Oh, it's coming out of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead. But yeah, so it's actually been helping. It's supposed to help with brood and the health too. But I thought, hey, if it's adding extra nutrients back into the feed, since, I mean, this is just corn syrup, then they'll give them a little bit of an extra benefit. So we'll see how they winter on it. This is my first year using it. But so far I'm liking it. It smells like oranges when you mix it all together. Oh, and I noticed that we're twinning today. They're Hummer t-shirts.
I do love a Hummer t-shirt.
It's crazy how far we came from when we first started beekeeping. We were so anti-supplemental feeding of anything whatsoever. But as our journey through bees has progressed, we really have kind of woken up to the environment that our bees are in are not anywhere near natural anymore, not with all the local agriculture and the industrialization of the area too, and all the different things that are being used that kind of aren't really the best for bees. So right now, one of the biggest challenges we're facing is pollen, or really lack of it across the board. Without pollen, the queen slows down, brood rearing stalls, and our colonies just don't build up the size that we need going into winter. And the size of that brood nest is absolutely everything. If you got strong, healthy brood now, you'll carry the momentum forward into winter or into almonds. But if that hive shuts down early because they're starving for protein, they're left with small, weak clusters that won't make grade, or that just won't be enough to keep themselves warm throughout the winter time. That's why managing your pollen flow, whether it's natural or through supplement, is just as critical as keeping your mite loads low. And this is why fall brood rearing matters so much. The bees being raised right now aren't just bees, they are winter bees. These girls are designed to live longer, from the cluster that carries a colony through the cold months, and ultimately power us into almond pollination. But if we miss the mark here, it doesn't matter how strong they were in July, they will not be ready when it counts. So that's why we've been feeding supplementally with pollen patties. And to be completely honest, the natural pollen flow this year has been pretty spotty. And if the hives shut down brood rearing now, there's no way to recover before winter. So a steady supply of protein keeps the queen laying and ensures that we're raising the right kind of bees at the right time. And the difference between hives that are thriving versus hives struggling is pretty obvious. A strong hive right now has a brood nest that's literally just boiling over with bees. Frames packed with capped brood, nurse bees, and enough stories to keep them going. But a weak hive, on the other hand, shows spotty brood, a dwindling population, or queens that have already started to back down. Those colonies won't just struggle in winter, they won't make grade for almonds, and ultimately won't make it to see spring. So we're checking weight, looking at, just doing like a brief look on how many bees they have, and putting pollen on.
For spring, then this is definitely not our last tote.
Huh?
If you're trying to save a tote for spring, this is probably not our last tote.
Well, we don't have to save one for spring, but we're just already over budget on our feed.
I would say a little bit, but that's farming for you.
That's why it's a learning year. It's also the way we did things, though. Because how they had to all build up from 3 frames.
Well, that's next year too, though. If we're going the same route, though. Oh, that looks like one.
Yeah, it's not as bright neon as the other kind. Hey guys, look, we're actually using the smoker for once. We actually need to get a different one and a bigger one because we still have that. I didn't get the duct tape, but we should actually try that. Somebody recommended that we just use duct tape and then it worked, so.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Duct tape does fix a lot of things.
It does. Yeah, some of them are already clustering quite a bit. This one looks small. It's a little smaller than I'd like. Maybe just because I smoke. I'm not used to smoking, so I'm used to seeing them all like coming up.
Yeah.
And then I just like splitting
That might be
it up.
too much for them. I'm not hating on you. I think that might be a bit much for that size.
You know, it's smaller than I'm giving the other ones.
Well, it does seem like they're kind of small.
They go through it fast.
Do we need to?
This one is
Because
small.
remember, we have a box full of bees that need a home.
We can boost them if you think we should.
I don't know, because the top box looks like it.
like they're trying to do something happened to them.
I can look in deeper.
You killed a bunch of them.
There's not many up here either.
It's okay, guys.
Oh, right there. I didn't see that.
I'm trying to help you.
Wow, they're actually calming you, smoke. Imagine that. There you go.
I'm trying to free you guys.
Sorry. Frames are hard right now. I mean, screw. She's laying.
Yeah, but they're all slowing down.
This one just feels like it. We can shake just a little bit of bees in here if that would help. Shake them into the top. We haven't OA'd that box yet, though.
That's true.
We should probably do that real fast.
Well, let's just get through everything with this market. Just put a mark on it and we'll come back.
I don't want to have to come back. So we will get everything set. I'm going to OA them, and then while we feed...
Doesn't OA have to sit on them?
Not that long, I don't think. Or I could OA them right now.
It's up to you. It's
It might
over.
take a second.
I'm just a cameraman today. I got no ideas.
So the reason we're thinking this hive might be too small is because you got to remember, right now with the goldenrod flow on, this is as big as a brood nest is going to get really until next spring. So if they're only sitting at, say, 8 frames of bees right now, by the time winter really kicks in, they'll shrink down to maybe 5 or 6 frames in the cluster, maybe even down to 4 frames. Now, we may end up regretting adding bees to this one because this box of bees that we're about to add to it was basically just given to us when we picked up that cutout from a buddy's honey extraction. So odds are most of the bees are older and they probably have some mites on them. That's why I'm going to hit them with an OA vapor. At least that way they're going to be clean when we do put them in. And hopefully they can kind of help kickstart that brood nest so the queen keeps laying even more.
Ooh, that looks better.
They're clustered already because it's been chilly. I think it got down to like 38 last night.
It's like 36 or something from what I read.
Yeah. Oh good, they have some white. You know, I want to share something with you that really hit me the other day when I was working a yard, and this little girl that is a granddaughter of one of our landowners ran up to one of our hives, and she couldn't have been more than 7 or 8, and she stood there for a while just watching the bees come and go, and then she asked me, "Do the bees ever get tired of working?" At first I kind of laughed because it honestly just stopped me in my tracks, because what she was really asking was something that a lot of us actually wonder. Is it worth it to keep going when it feels like the work is never ending? So I told her, you know, bees don't think about it like that. They work for something bigger than themselves. Every bee does their part, and because of that, the whole hive survives. But without them, there is no next generation. And she just stood there and kind of nodded and went back to watching the entrance. But the question is what truly stuck with me all day. I couldn't help but keep thinking, what kind of world is this girl going to grow up in? Are we building something that's going to let her thrive? Or are we just using everything up for ourselves right now and leaving this generation with scraps? And honestly, that is a question I've had to wrestle with in my own life this year. Expanding our operation, trying to send 200 hives to almonds, watching honey prices drop and costs go up. It's been one of the hardest years we faced so far, but beekeeping has taught me something, and that is that you can't just live for the short term. You have to trust the process. You have to invest in something bigger than yourself, even when you don't see the results right away. And I think America is in that same place right now. Too often, we blame the younger generation. We say that they don't want to work hard, but the truth is, it's our job to hand them something worth working for. It's our job to make sure that they've got a hive strong enough to survive. That means standing up for change where it is needed, bringing God back to the center, and putting the family first again. Because bees, they do not spend time complaining. I mean, they can sting, they hurt sometimes, but they don't waste time complaining about the next wave of workers. They prepare for it, they make sure the hive is ready to carry on, and that is what I want to be about too. Not just for my kids, not just for these hives, but for this country. When I look at these colonies, I see more than just bees. I see a picture of what's possible when everyone does their part, when sacrifice today means life tomorrow. And if we can learn that lesson, if we can live like the bees, then maybe that little girl won't have to wonder if the work is even worth it. She'll already know that it is.
I completely forgot to mention that the last yard has a lot of knotweed. Remember when we were driving by and we saw that big huge bush of knotweed? So I think that's why they're a little bit heavier. So that's good. Hopefully they store a bunch of that.
Really pretty on camera today.
What? I think you look very handsome on camera today. I know, you're not feeling the best.
Not at all. I'm just pushing through.
Well, we're at the snake yard. This one should go pretty fast. I'm just gonna pop the camera up and we can just bang it out. I'm actually really impressed with how this yard looks, because if you guys remember, this yard was struggling beforehand, and now when you open them up, oh, I can barely even get that open now. They look awesome.
All right, so how many of y'all are ready for a vacation? To be honest, I'm ready for a couple weeks just to reset, but knowing me, after about 2 weeks, I'll be itching to get back into the hives again. We've got some really big plans coming up this winter, so stay tuned because things are about to start moving pretty freaking fast. But for the most part, we've got our hives down to mite washes of 0, 1, maybe 2 at the most, nothing higher than that. And I'm thinking about going around at the end of September and hitting everything with an OA vapor just to really clean them up before they settle into the winter cluster. But here's something interesting. I've been using oxalic acid in a couple yards where mite washes were already at 0, and it's been doing exactly what it's supposed to. No negative side effects at all, just happy bees boiling over with queens laying sheets on sheets of eggs. Totally different though from what I saw back in June. If you remember, a couple videos ago, I mentioned that when I used oxalic acid in the middle of summer, when it was hot and humid, I actually saw some negative side effects. Queens would slow down or stop laying, brood would start to look kind of like it was burnt, and it would start to look spotty too. Sometimes the bees even tried to requeen, and I'd also see a big bee drop. But now, I'm not seeing any of that, just strong, clean colonies. So it makes me wonder, is it humidity playing a role in how oxalic acid works, or is it just something about the timing of year, like using it in June versus in the fall or in the spring when you don't have that humidity and the temperatures are a little bit cooler? I don't know. What do you guys think?
So the last yard we were at, Pittsford yard, is really starting to come around. All of these yards are actually really starting to come around. It feels really good to watch a plan actually fall into place exactly as we had hoped. So this yard has been starting to grow since I was on here a few weeks ago. Not happy with how this yard was looking because it made me think that everything we were doing is just kind of like ick. But I guess that's just the roller coaster of beekeeping, is you have good days, you have bad days. And apparently either it's the genetic or just this yard in particular. I think it's a genetic though, because we have another pallet over there that's doing wonderful. But yeah, so it's just, they seem to have been starving all year because they haven't gone out of a single deep, and the only reason they actually drew out their top box is because we were feeding them, so. Probably still going to put some pollen on here though, just because I know they're going to need it since they've been behind. Look at all this goldenrod though. Isn't that just beautiful? This is a cute little spot back here. Okay, let's see. Been checking them every week. Let's see where they're at now. Yeah, they're getting there. Not too bad.
Alright, so as we wrap up today, I didn't film too much because we literally went through 10 yards today. It's crazy how much more I can do when Casey's with to help. But I want you to remember this. Every frame of bees that we care for, every decision that we make in these yards, it's about more than just honey or hives. It's about showing up, doing the work, and building something that actually lasts. And that's the lesson that we can take into the world around us too. If we want to see change in our communities, in our country, and for the next generation, it starts with the small things that we do every single day. It starts with showing up, staying consistent, and putting in the effort even when it's hard. Just like the bees, our work does absolutely matter, even if we can't see the results right away. So let this be your reminder that you have the power to make a difference. Whether it's in your home, your job, or the world at large, stand up, be consistent, lead with integrity, and trust the process. The future that we want for our kids, for our families, and for our country, it starts with us today. So keep showing up, keep doing the work, and just like these bees, we can build something that lasts. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next one, and as always, don't quit and be fit.